time. Warmachine board, battle report. Cygnar versus Retribution.
So I'm playing my standard Stryker 2 list. So I've got a Stryker 2. He's got a Scyrah, and his battle group is just Rowdy. And then I've got a full unit of Sword Knights with the UA and 2 Stormclads attached. Then a minimum unit of Storm Blades, so no UA for them. And then the Journeyman Warcaster, Piper of Ord, Archduke Runewood, Ragman, and Arlen Strangeways. And that's 50 points. Whoop!
So I've got the same list I've got on the last battle report with Issyria and the Phoenix in her battle group and an Arcanist to support them. My units are one unit of House Guard Rifleman with a Thane in between, and the Halberdiers with the unit attachment, the Soulless Escort. And there is a Sniper and 10 Dawnguard Sentinels, and with UA of course, and 10 Mage Hunter Strike Force guys also with UA. And these are my 50 points, way more than Steve has, models wise, that is.
There's a monkey.
Yeah.
Right, here we are. So we got a bit of a rematch going on here.
Right.
So this is identical lists to the last bat rep that we did.
Yeah, and it nearly was the identical mission as well, but then we decided that would be pretty lame. And
Yeah,
so
we rolled for the same mission, unfortunately. But yeah, we decided not to play it. And and that box on the table is a house.
Obviously.
Yeah. As you can see, I've deployed a bit differently here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. I managed to put the Dawn Guard again somewhere where they're not obscured by the forest.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then there were 2 forests, so I decided to put my House Guard guys all on the right side, as you can see, so they would not be hampered by the forest.
That's right, yeah. Because they don't have Pathfinder or anything like that.
Yeah.
And which actually played into my plan. So I had got the first turn, and you got to decide which table edge you wanted.
Right.
And then I set up directly opposite that forest.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea was that whatever you did, you would have to put some guys on one side of the forest, some guys on the other.
Yeah, and I didn't think about that before, because for some reason I thought that my House Guard guys were fast enough so that they could move through the forest if they wanted to. But we'll see what happens with them.
But it's quite a long distance. So what I did was then I sort of jinked over to the right. So because my army's footprint is so tiny, or at least should be small, I'm able to move it wholesale completely over to, and they're quite fast as well, I'm able to move it wholesale completely over to one side of the table. So I decided to take on the Sentinels and the Phoenix and the Mage Hunter Strike Force instead of the Halberdiers this time. And it worked out quite nicely because it meant I split your army in half and I only had to deal with half of it to begin with.
And I was a bit annoyed
that I really pleased with that.
Yeah, I was a bit annoyed that I really fell into your trap, but
yeah. So like as I said in the last bat rep, I've been playing in a way that I don't find satisfactory at all. So I was trying to have a plan and stick to it this time. My plan was to break up your guys on the right flank and then chase Issyria around the back of the other guys. And the way the game turned out, it didn't actually work like that. It still turned into an attrition game. But because I had the chance to work away on your right flank, your left, my right, your left flank earlier, that really helped me not get beaten quite so easily this time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I start shooting already, as I can see. I was wondering what I'm doing there.
Yeah, so there's a bit of shooting, and I had evasive from Strangeways up on the left hand, from my point of view, the left hand Stormclad, the painted one.
Right.
And so you decided to shoot the other one.
Right.
And I think you took out a column or so.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've learned not to fear the Mage Hunter Strike Force's shooting. It's their close combat you need to worry about.
Yeah, which I never did really, but
yeah,
I probably should
it's-
soon, sometime. So then I'm putting my all of my 20 or 25 house guard guys way off the main battle. But,
Yeah, so my whole plan is to keep on heading up down towards the bottom right-hand corner of the table from the camera's point of view.
yeah, and I was
Go on.
I was thinking that it would be no problem just running around the forest with all the guys, but yeah, the way was yeah, there's your stomach. The, the way was it was farther away all of the guys than I imagined. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent those 2 Stormclads up, and to get them in position, I split my Sword Knights into 2 groups, which was actually a bit of a mistake because it means the unit's attachment, who is being the Jack Marshal for them at the moment, ends up being a little bit too far away for them to function effectively.
Right.
So I need to look at that next time I play this list. I need to keep those Sword Knights a bit closer together somehow.
Yeah.
And it makes them more effective when used together with the Jacks as well.
That's right. Yeah.
So the Stormclad's moved up, and he's started to. I'm trying to decide whether to kill Sentinels or Mage Hunters.
Yeah.
And the Sentinels are easier to hit, and actually everyone, because it's power 19, everyone's just as easy as everyone else to wound.
Yeah.
But I ended up doing a few on one side, a few on the other. And the Electro Leap addition to the Stormclad attacks is great. Really nice for clearing out infantry.
I think you could fill 5 guys in one turn.
Yeah, so that was quite a nice alpha strike for the Stormclads. And then following that by giving, I think I used Runewood to give the Sword Knights Pathfinder, which meant that forest that I was using to split up your forces meant I was just able to just pile through that. Yeah. And I believe I ran up rather than charging because it was a little bit too far to charge.
Yeah, but it was fine for you anyway.
What you do, Stryker's feet, and then you get to make an attack anyway.
Right, and I always forget about that, but
yeah. It's a really nice feat for surprising. It's for getting up there surprisingly quickly. So it's my turn 2.
Yeah.
And my guys are about 2/3 of the way across the table.
Right.
The Stormclads are anyway. That pronto on the Stormclads is really, it turns them into little bullets. It's great.
Yeah.
And Stryker is still over on the top left-hand portion of the board, and he's firing off a couple of spells in front of your halberdiers to try and block them from charging my objective.
Yeah, which I would have done, and I was also keen on charging Stryker himself, but then there were a couple of things in the way, like what is it?
Yeah.
Storm things.
Rowdy is there.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what that spell is called, but it's the Stryker's AoE spell. It's quite short range, unfortunately, so it would be nice to have Thorn instead of Rowdy as an arc node for that, but I still like the idea of using 3 heavies.
Yeah.
So I'm still going to persevere with using Rowdy. But as it is at the moment, I feel like instead of having Stryker down there with Rowdy dealing with your halberdiers, they should have just run up and gone up to help out the Stormclads.
Yeah, right.
And just caused as much damage on that right-hand side. So in the end, I still ended up splitting the force, even if Stryker and Rowdy and the Journeyman Warcaster are all just there just to slow down the halberdiers.
Yeah.
But that's not really what they should be doing. They should be up there in the second, making attacks in the 3rd turn and finishing off anything else that's left.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, that's another thing to think about. It's handy. It seems like a good idea to block those halberdiers, but if I'd run away from them, they still wouldn't have caught up with him.
Probably, yeah.
It would have meant giving up the objective. That's the main thing, the disadvantage there.
Yeah, right. So one thing I should remember is that I do not necessarily have to put the rifleman behind the halberdiers. Because for some reason I always think they belong together, but but it doesn't necessarily is that way. So
well, they do have a bit of synergy because the guys at the back can shoot through the guys at the front and give them a little bit of protection.
Yeah, that's right.
And they can shoot into the combat that they're doing as well.
Right, maybe it's not the worst thing to do. So.
No, I think they seem to work together okay. But the riflemen are really the bane of Stryker's life at the moment.
Yeah, that's right.
That combined ranged attack is enough to get through his defense and armor and do some proper damage.
And since I did that last time and won with that, I was already looking forward to doing that again. But
yet another reason to get Stryker as far away from them as possible.
Yeah.
So I really need to get my act together with Stryker's positioning and Rowdy, I think. Get them into close combat with some infantry. I think that's the best way to keep them safe, actually.
Right, yeah.
Because Stryker gets +2 defense if he's in from melee attacks when he's in base contact with Rowdy.
Yeah.
And Rowdy can knock everyone down who's anywhere near him.
Right, with this, I forgot the name, but I know what you mean, yeah.
Earthquake or something.
They killed one of your warjacks.
Yeah. Stormclad went down
with the Phoenix, because I think for the first time I remember that the Arcanist can give him +2 damage rolls.
Yes.
And I finally did that, and that worked out quite well.
Yeah, it was quite nice. I think I charged the Phoenix originally, and you were able to just step backwards to avoid my attacks.
Yeah, that's right.
So it was quite nasty.
And then I came at you myself.
Yeah. So at this point, my Storm Blades are still quite a long way back. I still had problems getting Ragman to be effective. He did help a little bit, taking out the Phoenix, in fact, when the time came. But apart from that, he didn't do an awful lot. So I'm still not sure about Ragman. I had tough on the Sword Knights. I had tough on them the whole time, and I didn't roll one tough.
Right, it didn't work out. Yeah.
The whole game, I think I rolled about 5 or 6 times, and it didn't come up once.
Yeah.
So the only thing that he did was that Ragman was able to pass off an attack onto him.
Right. So
which then killed Piper. So he didn't last the game, and he didn't do it. So I'm still having trouble justifying Ragman and Piper. And if I got rid of them, then that would free up almost enough points for a whole another unit of Sword Knights.
Yeah.
And I feel like they would be very useful.
Yeah, just keep the 2 mercenaries.
Yeah. It would mean that having more Sword Knights would mean having... in this situation would mean sending Sword Knights into the Halberdiers and just letting them deal with them and sort of fire and forget, really. Just get them into the fight and then just leave them.
Yeah. And see, they're charging not Stryker because they can't, but all the rest of the guys.
Yeah, that's right. And Rowdy's finally remembered to use Rowdy's counter charge ability there, which was quite nice. I think I squashed the guy.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Who charged through.
You just saw him for a second there.
But they got such a long charge range that they were able to get past those templates.
Yeah.
And we used your new laser as well.
Yeah, right.
Worked out quite well.
It was really helpful, yeah. Okay, see, I was not able to charge Stryker himself, but at least Rowdy and the objective and the Journeyman Warcaster who's hiding behind the objective goes away. And I think, the Journeyman Warcaster went away as well.
Did she get killed in the end?
Yeah,
she did.
I think.
Yeah, she did.
I think
You're right.
I killed her with 1. And then, And then there I'm trying to shoot you again, lining up all my riflemen.
Yeah.
I can see Stryker.
And I believe you took me down to something like 4 boxes.
Yeah, I believe so as well. Yeah.
And then your ghost sniper was then able to get a hit, and they can automatically take away 3 boxes. Yeah. So that put me in a position where Stryker was on 1 box.
Yeah.
And that was a little bit scary.
Yeah. Actually,
but it also forced me to take some risks with him, which helped him deal with the halberdiers and riflemen.
Yeah, that's right. I was quite surprised how well he fought.
I think did your House Thane manage to take off a box at some point as well?
Yeah, that may be. Yeah, I think that will still be happening.
Right.
We're looking.
How far are we through? All right, we've still got about another quarter to a third of the video left.
Yeah, I think.
And we've been asked by someone on our game group not to spoiler the results of our bat reps when we talk about them. So, especially for him, we're not spoiling it.
We try to, at least. Yeah,
Yeah, we tried not to.
Did not manage too well until now. What we can say is we again tried to take the time. I think 1 hour 15 minutes per player. But did we do that for this game?
No, we didn't time.
Oh, we didn't. Okay, but
no, completely didn't bother with the timer this time.
Okay, yeah, right. Because last game it turned out that we had to.
Yeah,
the
if
time
we had
stopped.
been playing Death, exactly. Yeah. So I'm just moving up some Stormblades there, and I believe it's them that finishes off the Phoenix, isn't it? So Ragman's or is it?
Actually,
Ragman's standing next to them, or is it the other Stormblade, the other Stormclad that finished?
Oh, they're shooting at him now. And I believe
so
it does
have
not make a
nice
difference.
shooting attacks.
What does it?
No, I think it looks like you're taking some boxes off, and then the Stormclad comes in and I think gives him one more hit.
Yeah.
And the whole time during that, then Ragman is taking the Phoenix's. Now he is, because the Stormclad is in melee range with the Phoenix.
Actually, I don't remember.
That,
I remember him being dead, but I somehow don't remember how he was killed. But we'll see about that.
So the remaining Stormclad and the Sword Knights and the Stormblades are all there, and they're slowly taking apart the remainder of your left flank.
Yeah.
And your caster, whose name I've forgotten, Issyria, is literally hovering just by the forest.
Yeah, exactly. On the top right.
And I guess she's too scared to go and help out the Halberdiers because Stryker's right there.
Yeah, that's right. Also, she can't help with anything because she can't attack. She's the only caster.
That's right. Yeah. So she's great support, but when it comes to 1-to-1, she's not too hot.
Yeah.
Rowdy just charged in. Well, he didn't charge. He just advanced in, and he's rolled to knock down everyone within 2 inches of him.
Right, that was pretty mean. Yeah.
It's always a great roll because he's Mat 8. He's bonded to Stryker 2, so he gets an extra dice on the first melee attack.
Yeah.
It's a special attack that he can do after charging as well, which is another cool thing he can do.
Right.
Usually you can't. And he knocks down 6 or 8 guys, something like that.
Quite a lot, yeah. More than we had.
I didn't have enough tokens.
Yeah.
Which was really nice from my point of view.
Yeah. It really scared me, yeah. And the meanest thing was that though my guys, my rifleman can shoot into melee, but they obviously can't shoot out of melee because no one can. And so I was quite scared when you came up and engaged them in melee.
Yeah, and Stryker just charged on through as well.
Right, yeah, there he is.
So the idea with Stryker is that they can't do a combined ranged attack on him if they are in close combat with him.
Yeah, and now
so I deliberately didn't kill everyone I was engaged with, but then I forgot that they can shoot into close combat anyway.
Yeah. And here we can see that Stryker is now very near to Issyria. Only the House Guard Thane in between. And I think I tried to shoot with everything I could.
Snipers, he's about to move up and take... Oh, the thing we talked about earlier, taking him down to 1 box. That hasn't happened yet, so that's just about to happen. And there's an AoE just went down, and I can't remember why that is. Did I cast a spell?
Neither. It looks like it's my turn, but I can't remember why I'm putting an AoE down there, actually.
It reduced my defense. It was a blind something.
But that's no AoE.
Oh.
Weird.
Oh, well.
Maybe I cheated. No, probably not.
That's very
likely. Oh, yeah, right, there he...
It's exactly the sort of thing you do.
GDLs. There Issyria, now I'm blinding Stryker.
That's right, yeah.
And teleporting back.
And that's quite powerful blind, so it's -2 defense.
And you're not allowed to cast any offensive spells next time.
Yeah, no shooting, no offensive spells. And it's quite powerful against Stryker because it takes him from defense 16 to defense 14.
Right.
And that's quite a big step compared to when you've got Rat of 7, for example, or a Mat of 7. So it makes it much easier to hit him suddenly.
And as we said earlier, I think he only had 1 wound left, and then my House Guard Thane charged him and very nearly killed him, but I think due to bad luck it didn't happen.
That's right, yeah, he didn't quite make it. And I didn't want that to happen again because your sniper could just easily pick him off in the next turn.
Yeah.
So my plan to handle that was just to put up a sword knight up to engage. So I had to remove the mage hunters that were in the way of the sword knights. To then free them up to move in, engage Issyria and the sniper. And I believe Stryker himself dealt with the House Thane. I think he killed him.
I guess so, yeah. As we can see,
what I remember.
Yeah, as you can see now, there's only one mage hunter left.
I can't see that.
It's one of the white dudes with the crossbow holding up.
Oh yeah, and the other guys are silver. It looks very similar.
Yeah,
it's gone.
Yeah. And now the way to Issyria is free if there were no forest.
I think I went and did some other things first.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but I could give the Sword Knights Pathfinder again, which again is great.
Yeah.
It's quite. That's the part of the point of the list is that you can make the Sword Knights into. Oh, and that's the end of the video. You can make the Sword Knights into whatever you want them to be.
Yeah.
So they can have, with the Stryker, they can have armor 21.
Right.
They can't have high defense, so it's not really an easy way of doing that, which is part of the reason why you need to get them into close combat as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
But you can also give them Pathfinder, you can give them Tough to make them harder to kill.
Right.
Yeah, you can, there's just lots of little buffs. You can, is there anything else? I can't think of anything else. Oh, and you make them into Weapon Masters if they're within a reach of a heavy jack. Yeah, well, it just gives them an extra
okay,
dice.
there was that one, yeah.
Has the video finished at your end as well?
Yeah, it did, yeah. And,
so I guess it ran out just before the end.
Yeah.
So overall, what's happened is my original sort of punch to your left flank, that went very well, but it kind of ran out of steam.
Yeah.
And I think that's because I didn't follow up with Stryker and Rowdy on that side.
Because I've got 53 models on the table.
Yeah, it could be something to do with that, but half of them were sort of over the other side of the table. Right, yeah. So I think if I'd run up with Stryker and Rowdy that way instead, I could have made more of a difference there. And possibly more of my models might have survived and then helped me take out Issyria.
That's right, but what you did now is you charged with your Sword Knights and did not manage to kill her.
I couldn't hit her.
Yeah, right, you couldn't hit her because she's got a defense of 16 and that was too much for your little guys.
So I think my my UA was right next to her and maybe one or two other Sword Knights.
Yeah.
But it put her in a position where she couldn't really get away from them.
Yeah.
And Stryker still had his one box left.
Yeah.
And he was able to run up, boost to hit, and then that was plenty to finish her off.
Right, yeah, that was...
And then when he did connect, because he's got power 15 blade, which is great.
Yeah.
But I was looking forward to trying out the overpower ability. But if you've got one box left, that's not ideal.
No. I would have loved to see that and him dying while running up to me. And
just sort of dropping dead at your feet. But so I was very happy with the result, but I still think with this list and the style that this list should be played, I still think I've got a lot that I need to refine and improve.
Yeah.
I need to get more out of Ragman, or he's going to have to go out of the list.
That's right. Still all these little tiny guys who can do a ton of stuff, and I think I'm a bit easier there because I've got, from the feeling of it, 2 to 3 different things that my guys can do, and that's why I'm getting along better with my list than you with yours. But anyway,
so it turned out into an attrition game in the end, anyway.
Yeah.
But because I was able to get that nasty attack on the bottom right hand side of the screen to begin with, I think that meant I could break the number of models that I was up against, and then it turned into just killing as much as possible. Until Issyria didn't have anything blocking the way anymore. So there's still not an assassination in the purest sense, in the turn 3 sense. So I'm still working on that, and maybe it's not possible against so many models. Maybe it's not possible to do an assassination.
If you outmaneuver them again, it will be maybe.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. But I guess this matchup is something we've done quite a lot recently. So maybe the next game I should switch back to my Haley list with the Storm Wall.
Yeah, maybe me as well. I don't know yet, but depending on what I've got assembled.
But I really like the way your list is shaping up. I mean, it's just the number of models, and they've all got nice tricks.
Yeah, that's what I like as well.
Like the speed is really nice on the halberdiers, and they can take out a heavy jack in one turn.
Yeah, really.
If they charge. And your sentinels always nowadays seem to be doing a lot.
Yeah.
And I think it's easy for you to trap the other player into forcing into an attrition game, and if you get them to do that, then that's it. You're probably going to win.
Yeah, that's right. I just have to remember to let everyone run up, and then things will deal with themselves. So.
Yeah. So you've recently played this list against Crick's player playing Mortenebra, and I think we might do a little commentary on that. So
yeah, we will.
That'll probably be the next thing we do.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, cool. Thanks very much.
Thank you as well.
See you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.